everyone. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. So always happy to find you here. If you're a new subscriber, welcome. I'm delighted to have your subscription. I hope you bring a friend with you next time. In honor of Martin Luther King, I'm probably going to update this on King Day celebrated on Monday. And yes, I am wearing my King t-shirt, but you can't see it because the camera won't. But yeah, there it is. There's my King. Have my King t-shirt on. I always do something on King Day, and I like to celebrate it now. It is close to my birthday. We do share a birthday a day apart, so it gives me even more reason to celebrate. But I do like honoring the man for the work that he has done. And so this is in honor of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And I do also plan on uploading the video that I did for him last year. I think I've done one for the last 2 years, so I'll upload those too. But this is for 2025. And in this one, I'm gonna focus on the man, the persona of the man, because we're all so acquainted, and I do hope that we are, and I do hope that if you have King Day off, you do something just really in honor of the work and the legacy of his life. Um, but we're often connecting his famous I Have a Dream speech, his March on Washington, his Birmingham jail letters, his Birmingham jail um, um, days where he actually spent in prison, his civil rights movement, his meeting with and reconnecting and having some input with Malcolm X. They were always historied in the history book as starch enemies. And I think it's just really they had different approaches. They had the same idea for the what I'm calling the righteousness of Black lives to be seen as equal. And then sometimes even using their words in their way, meaning in their delivery, was often different, in which Malcolm X was very thunderous, and Dr. King was often using a more calm demeanor, often oratory too, both of them very oratory. So having said that, I look at Dr. King as a righteous man, a person who lived out loud their true convictions and did something about them. And that's the rarity. That takes a lot of courage. I call it the king courage. Those are my words. The king, the courage to be a king, the courage to be so convicted and do something about it. As you know, I've had many videos where I encourage people to use their voice to not remain silent, to not be a troublemaker, but to say, hey, this is an issue that I'm having. Let's just discuss this. Why can't we just do that amicably? We often approach things by which we're wanting to make change in a system or change in an existence of something that's been in existence for a long time, as it's going to face some contradiction from the conviction. But that shouldn't stop us. And often people do, they don't want to put the energy into it. But Dr. King often moved forward in matters of liberation, in matters of equality, in matters of justice, in matters of anti-violence. And he went about it by promoting peace. Now, wouldn't that be nice in our world today as we see, notice, and recognize how attractive mean ways have become? People will click on a video to watch someone brawl and fight and be nasty and arrogant and the whole mean girl, bad boy thing, and it be promoted. Reality shows are better and have greater marketing and viewership when there is a brawl and a fight, when there is a cat fight, those shows seem to do better. So what is it within us that drives and thrives on seeing that? It's almost like saying, well, gee, I thought I was so bad, but I guess I have company. What about, oh my goodness, I am so good and there's fewer people around me? Where are all my kindness crew? Where is all my good people? Where are my true speakers and my true seekers? Where are the people that standing in line for social justice and people that understand when we say Black Lives Matter, we have nothing, it has nothing to do with you. It has recognizing who we are in front of you. And then we want to twist everything about that in such a way that we want to make it misunderstood instead of understood. So we take the filters out of everything. Leave the filters alone, be true and real about it. So when I think about this common thread now in the workplace called DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, and really equity. Well, anyway, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it had a hard time getting started, and it is falling away at the wayside. Even now, it's not even being promoted in a lot of companies because how do you invent something that's designed to be prevented? So, how do you invent something by which preventing it is more popular? And Dr. King was able back then, 1968, the civil rights movement, and before that time with the Rosa Parks sitting on the bus and refusing her seat and all of that. We're able to do that then with less technology, with less transportation modes, with less open-minded individuals, yet we can't do it today. Yet we can't do it today. Maybe you have, but I have a hard time seeing any progress towards a better equality, diversity, equity, and inclusion as it pertains to specifically Black people. Now, people go, oh, we're talking about people of color. No, we're not. We're talking about Black people. Because when you say people of color, you once again give yourself an opportunity to not recognize that Black people have not been recognized. And all that careful language just make you lean to the side and go, what you really talking about, which is slow progress and no progress. And so we have to be careful with that. Now, I'm talking about the legacy of Dr. King, but I'm also talking about the opportunity for us today, by which we have to recognize that certain languages are designed to throw off the attention just enough to curve it, by which what you were tracking for to move in forward progress with just got defeated. Just be careful. We have to be careful. In order to make great strides in conviction, in justice, in the reality that because of who I am in my melanin has nothing to do with who you are in yourself. Because really, it was never about me, us, in our melanin. It was always about you and your view of it. So have a different vision. Have a different vision. No more us trying to make you see. Why don't you see from a different lens? Is what I'm saying. And I'm saying it in peace and in love. And I hope you can receive that. If you've gotten this far, please click like. Please click subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Good night. Happy King Day.